We're back. We're live from the Mutant booth at the 2014 Body Power UK Expo. This is the Lab Report. I'm your host, Big Ron Partlow. With me, got the Director of Marketing for Mutant, Ryan Keller. Everybody knows him. And Director of Marketing for GASP. We got Andrew Garven on the show. Good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ron.
Yeah, you were on at the Arnold, right?
That's right.
All the shows, they mesh together. Sometimes you forget, when did I see you last?
Yeah, it's been nonstop over the last few months, So we just great great FIBO, the Arnold Classic was great, and here we are in the UK at Body Power. So. Yeah,
I run into people, like I was joking around with some of our other guests about how we see each other more than they see their families.
Yeah.
Because, there's 5 weekends out of 3 months, and I see my family one weekend a year. So
we got to figure out how to get closer to these guys next year, because at the Arnold we were right beside you.
Mm-hmm.
At FIBO we could see you just from a distance, not like we could stone's throw away.
No.
Yeah.
But this year you guys are like way down there, in the hot area.
We got to start, calling each other and making sure we book the booth
well ahead of time.
Some sort of package deal, maybe.
I think maybe
bundle the two brands together.
Between the two you guys, I'm sure you can make some calls.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we talked before this show just about Johnny, and then then Johnny said, if I don't have to go to Body Power, can I not go? Right, and it's it's a good thing he didn't, because it's going to be shredded up on stage in about 2 weeks. So
So GASP is pretty proud of the boys right now. I mean, everyone's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, we had a great Europa Dallas, branch one.
Yep.
So that was his first time competing in Texas in over 10 years. So that was really exciting for him, really exciting for his family and friends, and he had a great turnout. And then Johnny came in third, and a lot of his family was in town. His son was at the show, so we had a first and third there. And then Johnny, I think, is in a good position to take Toronto, and then they're both qualified for the Olympia.
Yeah, no, we're excited for him. I know he's at home, probably on the step mill right about now.
Yeah,
if I know the clock and the time change. So, so did we not communicate before the show?
I didn't get the memo.
You didn't get the memo, or did we not get the memo? I don't know.
No, Andrew was kind enough to throw this to me at the Arnold.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite hoodie to wear. So
ever since I got it, I wear it all the time.
When he said throw on some gas for the GASP segment, I didn't expect we'd be like the twins, but it's going to work out.
No, next time I'll call ahead for sure.
So we wanted to, talk to you about everything GASP, and one of the things we were chatting about backstage was, you get approached by a lot of people. The brand is so popular and so overwhelmingly, used in the sport. Everyone wants to wear GASP and Better Bodies, and you got a lot of people asking you for sponsorship.
Right.
I mean, just like we do at Mutant, we have a lot of people. How do I become a Mutant? And we wanted to get your input on what you're seeing on your side of things, and advice you have for people, and ways that they can improve their odds of being taken more seriously.
For sure. No, definitely. Anytime we have a major show, a major trade show, there's thousands of athletes in attendance, and every athlete, it's their dream kind of when they get into this industry is, they want to be sponsored by a supplement company, they want to be sponsored by a clothing company, and, they want to know how to do it. So, I thought today, we'd go over kind of some of the do's and don'ts from my experience, Ryan's experience, and your experience as an athlete, to help athletes, best prepare to secure a sponsorship. So, kind of the number one thing off the bat I would say is, make sure you know the brand you're approaching. So, let alone your own personal agenda, but make sure you understand the brand that you're approaching. If you're going to approach GASP and Better Bodies, or if you're going to approach Mutant, make sure you wear the products, you take the products.
You know the ins and outs of what you're using and why you're using it.
Exactly, because ultimately at the end of the day, we're a lifestyle brand. The people within our company, we live and breathe this. We wear GASP and Better Bodies essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And people that we bring onto our team, we're inviting them into that family. So, we want them to be as passionate about the brand as we are. Yeah. So, if you come by our booth and, you approach me about a sponsorship and you tell me you love the brand, and then I ask you and I'm like, that sounds great, show me some photos of yourself wearing our clothes, and we pull up your Facebook profile and you're wearing, competitor brands or brands from outside of our industry, it doesn't make the best first impression.
Right, right. And, I was going to say, as soon as you guys come out with socks, my wardrobe will be complete, right?
Head to toe.
So I'm waiting for socks and, maybe some underwear. And then I can actually be head to toe all the time. Oh, yeah. So, no, we get the same thing at Mutant. We have people come up and say, how do I be a mutant?
Yeah, and you know what? Just Andrew's point, I mean, don't be that guy that comes to an event like this with a big stack of photos and your contact information and then go from booth to booth saying, look at my incredible physique, look how huge I am. You gotta want me, right?
Yeah, those days are over with.
Call me.
Yeah, those days are over with.
And then go to the next one and the next one.
Yeah, I won this show,
Right? Really, when it comes down to, the way you look is actually not even in the top 3 of reasons why we'd want you to represent our brand.
Well, look at some of our ambassadors. I mean, face only a mother could love. Yeah. And we got them around helping all the time. You know what I mean? He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but for us, it's exactly the same as GASP and what Andrew looks for. You've got to know everything about our brand. Yeah. And you've got to be passionate about it as well. And we want good people first. I've said it before. You've got to be a good person first. Everyone thinks they're a good person, but when you get them into a team atmosphere and working together as a team, you might not be a team player.
Yep. And I think when you were talking about handing out applications, I think that's a throwback to before social media. Yeah. People would win a show, they'd put a package together, and they'd hit 20 different companies, and they'd hope for someone to hit them back. But now, winning the show doesn't really make or break at all. Like you said, how you look isn't even in the top 3.
I mean, obviously, it is very important. Yeah. But I'm just saying that there's a handful of things we got to look for.
Social media,
that as well, right?
Would that be the number 1? Would you say?
Yeah,
social media presence and how you present yourself on social media. I mean, if you look at someone's Instagram and they kind of seem like a dick. Yeah. They come across in a way where you're like, geez, or they're really abrasive on Facebook, putting up posts about, this, I hate this guy, this coach is this and that. Yeah. You're not going to want them to be part of your family.
Yeah, well, the nice thing now is that ultimately it's up to the athlete. Like they have a lot of control, they have a lot of power, like they have the opportunity to build their brand like they never had before. They don't need to rely on building a relationship with a photographer or making sure they get featured in this magazine or winning this show. You have a lot of athletes in our industry that they don't even compete, yet have built giant fan bases for themselves on social media. So just from a social media perspective, it's more than just likes, it's more than just followers. A lot of it is, engagement is the number 1 thing for me, what I look for. It's like, you don't need to have the biggest fan base in the world, but is your fan base passionate about what you have to say? Are you offering, added value to your fan base, or are you just posting, selfies and pictures of your food throughout the day? Are you providing, great training information? Are you showing all aspects of your life? Are you a well-rounded person, or are you just eat, sleep, and train person? Because ultimately, we're a lifestyle brand, but we're about balance as well. We love to train. We love to eat, but we like to do things outside of the gym, and we like to work with people that understand that and have complete balance in their life. See their families, all that type of stuff. That value, that same type of core values that we have.
Yeah, you said something earlier. If you don't want it to be a quote.
So it's like, there's a lot in the news, especially now in North America, about, when it comes to social media, athletes got to understand that, they represent our companies. And, when you're dealing with multi-million-dollar companies, there's a lot at stake. So, what might seem to you as being, an innocent tweet or an innocent post on Facebook could have giant, ramifications to our brands. So what I always tell people is, if you wouldn't want to be quoted on the front page of the New York Times saying that,
New York Times,
don't post it to your, your Facebook or your Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with Furious Pete yesterday. We had Furious Pete on the show, and we were talking about, Instagram and social media, and you guys. I mean, like you said, it's not just about followers or stuff like that, but organic followers, like people that actually. So if you look at someone, let's say they have 6,000 followers on Instagram, but their posts are getting 500 likes a piece. That's really high level of organic followers.
Right.
And that's like people that really are following you because they want to pay attention. If someone has 100,000 followers and their pictures are getting 20 likes, they probably purchase their followers, all that.
There's really this got to be this happy medium between the amount of followers you have, because social media is really for connection. That is the main point. It's not to really just advertise yourself and just brag. It's a way to connect. It's social media. It's for connection. And if you're not connecting with those people, you're not making an impact on them, and you're not making an emotional connection with them to, invest in what you're doing or your brand. So almost, I mean, when we look at, our brands and the social media followers we have, Facebook followers, Instagram followers, the higher it gets isn't our goal, because the higher it gets, the less concentration of connections we can build. And our goal is to really build connections with them, and we want our athletes to do that as well. We want them to have personal connections with those people as well. The higher the number, you're not going to get to all those people. You're not going to be able to connect with them.
Yeah, the game has changed. The last, what would you say, 5 years especially?
You know what? It almost seems every year it's changing. We're still in that. We're still in it.
That growth.
It's exciting to see what's going to happen, and I think both of our companies, Mutant and GASP, are trying to stay on the front line of that evolution of marketing and that evolution of connection to the consumer. We still see companies that are doing things the really old school way. They're not even utilizing their Facebook. They're not utilizing their Twitter.
It's a commitment. It's a real commitment, and
we have an entire division. So we have a social media coordinator, Matt Sinkarang. We have. I mean, you guys do the same thing.
Yeah, exact same thing. Tana Eubanks is. She works with me on the athlete relations and the social media.
Yeah, you can't just have a couple people casually taking care of that stuff. Well, thanks, Andrew, for coming on.
Oh, definitely.
I always love having you on, because I love doing anything that I can, and Ryan loves doing anything we can to support GASP and get as integrated with your brand as possible. So, thanks for sharing your time on the lab report. And
thank you.
I'm going to come over to the booth and see if there's anything I don't have yet. I might bug you for something.
Oh, definitely. Please do.
Okay. Thanks. I'll be back. You got Andrew Garven from GASP. If you're at Body Power, go check out the booth. You got to get some. Get online. Get some GASP. Once you start, you're hooked. Like I said, socks and underwear coming soon. Maybe we'll do some signature stuff. Ron Partlow socks.
There we go. Production department, I hope you're listening.
We'll work something out. Okay. Thanks, Ryan. Is it hoods up to finish the show?
Right.
Hoods up to finish the show? Okay. From Body Power 2014, lab report. I'll be back. We're out.